Still Game On News Central TV. I am Udoka Njoku. Don't forget to reach us on social media at News Central TV, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at News Central TV. All right, Lagos-based side Sporting Lagos have parted ways with Coach Paul Offor and his technical crew. Now, according to a statement in the club's website, the performance of the club was key in taking the decision. Now, Coach Paul led Sporting Lagos to their first ever Nigeria Premier Football League promotion, and he won their first ever piece of silverware, which is the Niger Super 8 competition. Now, Coach Paul will leave with his assistant coaches, Coach Michael Bello and Coach Edward Green. And of course, the club says that they are grateful for their time at Sporting Lagos. Now, the club, they are currently 11th with 8 points, 4 points above the drop zone. And the big question is, why would you let go of a coach who is not even struggling in the relegation zone? This is what some fans are saying. But of course, we have Godwin Enakena, who is the chairman, Sporting Lagos Football Club, joining us right here in the studio. Good to have you with us, Godwin Enakena.
Udoka, good evening. How are you doing?
I am very well, and don't throw that question.
I wasn't thinking about that, but I saw the grey. I saw the last time they are more now.
Wow.
So that's
yeah, the grey is getting
wow. It's all right. I would not even get to that point, but it's fine. Let's talk about Sporting Lagos. Now, Coach Paul saw his side through interesting games in the Nigeria Premier Football League. 30 matches, 10 wins, 12 losses, and 8 draws. Now, the big question is, why will a coach be fired just a couple of days, a couple of games away from the end of the season?
Well, once again, thank you. Good to be here. And Wale, good evening to you.
Yeah, good to have you.
Nigerians at home in diaspora, thank you. Simple question. If you follow the Nigerian Premier Football League, and if you have the table, put it on the screen, and it will tell you why we appreciate what Paul Offor has done. You know, I'm emotional when I talk about this, because this is a young man that we started this journey together, you know, a few months ago, and here we are. There's never a right time, wrong time to do the right thing. You know, I mean, whatever you think is right, you do it. You know, football is not about emotions. It's about, like they say, coaching is about what you did or you are doing today. It's not what you did yesterday.
yeah.
You know, number 11 on the table, we've got 3 teams behind us who have outstanding games. If they play those outstanding games, we'll fall to number 15 or 14. That was terrible. Please, you need to educate people. You know, in football, no sentiments at all. If we had our ways, we'll keep Paul Offor for as long as possible. But the results were not just coming. He's given everything that he had. He loves this club so much. But hey, like I said, there's never a wrong time to do the right thing, in your own opinion.
You know, when it comes to the Nigeria Premier Football League, a couple of fans have looked at Sporting Lagos. They like the brand. They like everything Sporting Lagos. And they've also said that Sporting Lagos are not there yet to think of winning the Nigeria Premier Football League. I mean, is it a tough introduction to the NPFL for Sporting Lagos?
Yes, obviously. But for a man with my experience in this business, we shouldn't be where we are. I think first and foremost, we got it wrong with recruitment. You know, you don't give a man a day gun to go and fight the Russian army. You know what I'm talking about. I think that's the first thing. And if you want to compare, there's Doma United. 4 seasons they were top 4. I mean, they don't have the kind of paparazzis that we've got. They don't have the type of quality that we've got. You know, like I said, Paul Offor gave everything. I mean, when this happened, I almost fainted. That was the game on Tuesday.
That's sunshine, right?
3 minutes into the game, I almost fainted. You know, I left the stadium panicking, panting, you know, but hey, victory now, victory, like they say. That's it. I told the boys, I said, I'll take these 3 points, play ugly and win. That's the most important thing for me. Like I said, I really don't want to talk about this. I'd rather say I'm emotional talking about this. Paul Offor, great guy, he gave us so much, honestly. We'll be very ungrateful, you know, not to commend him for everything that he did. He brought Premier League football to Lagos, Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, after the GO of MFM disbanded MFMFC. So we must give, but then, like I said, football, there's no sentiment. It wasn't working. It's about rescue mission right now.
Right.
We need to, the ship is sinking. And I don't know a fan of Sporting Lagos who want to see us in the NNL instead of NPFL.
Now, you talk about the rescue mission, and we've been hearing feelers left, right, and center that there's been an appointment, or likely to be an appointment, of a well-experienced manager, Abdullahi Biffo. Would you want to confirm that appointment?
It's not freelance. I mean, if you go on social media and you'll find it there. I mean, it's been, we put it out yesterday alongside the exit of Paul Offor. So it's there. Biffo comes with plenty of experience.
Oh, yeah.
If you remember what they did with Kwara United, at this stage they were struggling, and Biffo took them to the continent. That's Biffo. Again, I'll give you an example of Abia Warriors. Abia Warriors were 19th on the table with 7 games to end the season. It was engaged by Chief Emeka Yama. It took them to the middle from number 19, and they survived it. And this young man has been in the US for like 2 years now. First for refresher courses, then he coaches one of the biggest football, academies or teams in Nigeria, in the world. Biffo, that's Brazilian Football Institute. So he comes with plenty of experience, but let's see what he can do, if he can put the chestnut out of fire.
Yeah, but I mean, some would also have felt that maybe you could have waited to the end of the season. You're 4 points over and above relegation zone, although you applied some perspective. There are 3 teams behind Sporting Lagos.
Outstanding matches.
Who've got outstanding games. They win, and I mean, Sporting Lagos drops. I know the way the league is. You snooze, you lose. I mean, look where Akwa United are right now. Look where Rivers United are right now. And you look at their next 3 games. These are very, very, very big games. Katsina is a difficult place to go to. Abia Warriors also are looking rejuvenated, and I mean, Rivers United, we know that they are wounded lands right now with the outstanding games that they have. So I can understand the ruthless nature of the decision that's been taken. But some, some faithfuls of sports leaguers felt that, hey, maybe you could have waited to the end of the season. Let's weather the storm, and Biffo can come, wipe the slates clean, and 2025, 2026 season, everybody starts afresh. Why didn't you, look at that approach?
Well, the first game is against Katsina.
Yeah.
It's a given that we're going to lose that game, with the way we've been going.
With your permutations?
Yes, not permutation, facts. Because we haven't won a game away from home. And for you to survive relegation, you need to get a victory away from home. While you keep your home tight. You know what I'm saying? So why not find a way to get victory away from home? I speak with these fans. They talk to me every day. I'm on social media. They talk to me every day. And when they speak, it's about, you see despondency. On Tuesday, you needed to see our fans. They were just there. The few Sunshine Stars supporters who were there were like the home fans. Why? Because it was like, what is happening? Sunshine was most likely going to score. We were praying that the referee should, just sound his whistle so that this game can end. But the most important thing, like I said, waiting to the end of the season, we need to get a victory away from home. We have never gotten a victory away from home with Paul Offor. Can we continue? Are we going to get that victory? Why not get someone who has traveled this road before?
Now, I wanted to also ask again, at a point in time this season, we also saw the introduction of Paul Adigun in the mix. I want you to talk us through what he was offering the team, because recently also we haven't been seeing him, with the team. I want you to explain to us, what he was doing with the team, and going forward, is he still going to come back into the team with Abdullahi Biffo now in the Helm of Affairs?
Paul Adigun is Sporting Lagos Technical Director. That's his job, not a coach.
Okay.
Primarily, it was to set up the Sporting Lagos Academy, which he has done successfully. The academy is, Ogun State, Ijebu-Ode precisely.
Up and running?
Up and running, as we speak. They play the TTC. Yeah, of course. That's what he does. So it comes around as, okay, let me give a helping hand. But we all know that it doesn't stay in Nigeria. It goes and it comes. So he's our technical director.
All right. So before I let you go, let's talk about the stadium projects now. What do we look forward to for next season? And is there any update on the project?
Fortunately, I was at that stadium on Sunday, landmark. by the beach, next to the waters, as it were. The projection is that our last game against Eyimba of the season, we'll be playing that game there.
Oh, wow.
So that's the projection as we speak.
How that's affected by the whole coastal railway thing, going on?
No. I mean, that was the first question I asked you. I always said, no, it's not close. It's just close to Trinity,
Okay.
Yeah, you can. I mean, just a stone throw. So it didn't affect it. So our Sporting Lagos Stadium is 85. I mean, as at Sunday, it was about laying the turf. That's what was remaining.
All right, quickly, I want to ask you this question not as chairman of Sporting Lagos, but as the secretary of the club owners, because last week there was a story that the games for the weekend was going to be boycotted by the clubs because the clubs wanted to have an idea and have clarity and insight into the sponsorship deals, with the LMC, Star Times, and the likes of the streaming sites as well.
Yeah,
I want you to also throw more light into that. As the IMC, have they finally been able to carry the club owners, carry them along with the sponsorship deal? Have the clubs also received what we call the takeoff money that they wanted to get at the beginning of the season? And from these TV deals, what are the clubs getting? Can you throw more light into that as the secretary?
Okay, let me start. Fortunately, I'm the general secretary of the club owners and, of course, the spokesperson of the Premier League clubs in Nigeria. First and foremost, we had takeoff grants of 10 million each from the league body, and that came from GTI. They are partners. They are not sponsors of the league. We must understand that they are partners. And we also got some money when Start Times paid. We got that money. Let me correct an impression. Yes, we asked certain questions, but the main issue was that of how can we ensure that we finish the season with 8 games to go, all teams having the same number of games.
The integrity of the league.
At this point, Rivers United have got 6 outstanding games.
Yeah.
Last weekend, they had to play FA Cup. So, if Rivers United are playing the FA Cup, that means, no, let us also not play. Let us move and wait for them to finish.
Yeah.
Fortunately, the league has listened to us. The NFF got involved in it. And after match day 32, the league will be put on hold for a minimum of 10 days for Rivers United to play at least 80% of the games. So after that, they'll play another midweek. We'll all be, because we know that with 8 games to go, we don't want shenanigans to happen. Anything can happen. That's basically, that was just the crux of the matter. It wasn't about sharing money or not sharing money. Yes, we talked about that, but that wasn't the main. We wanted everyone to be
level playing ground.
Unfortunately, the league didn't even wait. They just sent a message that, hey, yes, it is good. It was their own call. They had even done that before we spoke to them, honestly. I remember the president of Nigerian Football Federation, Alhaji Ibrahim Kuso, saying to me, Godwin, the league, they spoke to me. They've arranged this thing and it will be easy. And so that's what it is. So there's no...
How much are champions getting?
The champions will get 150 million.
All right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
A huge prize money, and I'm sure Sporting Lagos would surely want to bite on the cherry. Maybe not this season. We look forward to next season. I will hope that Sporting Lagos will have the Arsenal to deliver next season. Talking about Arsenal, let's go straight to the Champions League. The Arsenal fans are sad. They are crying, and they are quite disheartened that they lost that game to Bayern Munich yesterday. That game 1-0, and on aggregate was a 3-2 with Bayern still in victory to the next round. Talking about the semi-finals where they will get to face Real Madrid. And for Manchester City, they lost to Real Madrid on penalties yesterday as well. 1-1 on aggregate, and meant that Real Madrid qualified after they won that game on penalty. Godwin, you saw interesting games in the Champions League. Yes, okay, let's not talk about your club, but then, yes, Arsenal crashed out, Man City crashed out. All English teams have crashed out of the Champions League. What do you make of the game so far?
Well, the game between Arsenal and Bayern, of course, we knew was going to be Bayern. We knew that Arsenal would not survive. There's something about the Bayern team. They talk about experience. They talk about big players, and what have you. You saw the way they played that game. The Bayern team was like a team that wanted it the most. That goal was going to come. It was just about a matter of time. You know, just score one goal. You saw game management on the side of Bayern. They managed the game until it was obvious. Arsenal lost everything. You couldn't, the leadership was not there. Even the coach was not helping. You know, quality experience will always matter. And that is what was lacking yesterday. Congratulations to Bayern. They deserve it. They've had a terrible domestic form. And, you know, to lose the trophy to Bayer Leverkusen is disaster, you know, as far as they're concerned. And of course, for Man City against Real Madrid, some Madrid fans will tell you that this is a trophy, we know how to play it.
Yeah.
Especially when we have Don Carlo right there.
Yeah.
There's something about the Real Madrid team. Yes, all they needed was to score first. So the worst that can happen was going to be
equalizer.
And penalties are lotteries. And look at what the goalkeeper did. Poor penalty kicks by Man City players. Again, it comes with pressure.
Definitely. And looking at the semi-final fixtures, PSG will play against Borussia Dortmund, and Real Madrid will take on Bayern Munich. Wale, where would you put your smart money in the semi-finals?
All right, so right from the group stages, I think from match day one already predicted Dortmund are going to get to the final.
Oh, yeah?
Yep, and it's all born from the fact that, not because of statistics, last time they got to the final, it was in 2013, and it was at Wembley. This final is at Wembley as well. And guess who's also on the other side of the draw? It's Bayern Munich, so we might even have an all-German, you know, final in London. But I think Dortmund are going to get the better of PSG. The chaotic football that they do play might just be unsuitable for PSG, who will be relying once again on Mbappe. And I think both of them already met in the group stages. PSG got the better of them, winning one and got a draw. But Real Madrid Bayern Munich is football heritage on show. This is football pedigree on show. And anytime these two sides clash, it is always, you know, fireworks. I'm not sure who I'm going to pick in here, but I think that because of Jude Bellingham, I'm going to side with Real Madrid here. That boy is a big game player. We saw that again last night at the Etihad. If he comes to the party, trust me, Real Madrid should be in the final in London.
All right, of course, talking about London, let's go straight to the FA Cup now. We heard an update earlier today that the replays in the FA Cup has been scrapped from the first round onwards in the 2024-2025 season. That is the Emirates FA Cup. It will also be played on the weekends, including the fifth round, which has been played in the midweek for the past 5 seasons. Godwin, they keep saying changes left, right, and center in football, not just in England now. Is it not killing the game?
No. When we had VR, a lot of persons complained. VR has come to help football. The positives in VR, for me, about 90%. Away goes rule, fantastic. We saw it. If we had the kind of football that we saw, the quality of football that we saw the day before and yesterday, if they were...
And even last week.
Yes, even last week. If they were away go rules, you will see boring games. Some will sleep and they will not enjoy it. So I like the way sports is evolving, not just football, and we have to flow with the tide.
But this is bad news for the smaller clubs in England because the gate takings, by the time they are able to get to a second leg, maybe they play the first leg in a difficult ground and they come home for the second leg, they realize a lot from gate takings.
These people are thinking, you know, the white man, once this has happened, they will find a way.
Or to create a balance.
I mean, they always do that.
All right, I know time is no longer on our side, but then before we go, let's go straight to what happened many years ago, talking about the 1972 Olympic tragedy. Now, tragedy struck at the 1972 Olympics where the terrorist group known as the Black September took hostage of 11 members and killed them, members of the Israeli Olympic team, forever marring the image of the 1972 Olympics. Now, the day of terror began at 4:30 a.m. on September 5, 1972, when 8 Palestinian militants affiliated with Black September, a militant offshoot of the Palestinian group called Fatah, scaled the fence surrounding the Olympic Village in Munich, and disguised as athletes and using stolen keys, they forced their way into the quarters of the Israeli Olympic team. Now, as they attempted to enter apartment 1, they were confronted by Yosef, a wrestling referee, and Moshe Winberg, a wrestling coach. Now, Winberg was shot while fighting with the attackers, who forced him at gunpoint to lead them to the rooms of the remaining Israeli coaches and athletes. We talk about 1972. And in the year 2024, I'll give Godwin 10 seconds to talk about this one now. We still talk about terrorist threats that's at the Olympic Games, and they're taking all measures to make sure nothing goes wrong.
That's what it should be. I mean, they are fighting for a purpose, good or bad. And they're getting sophisticated every day. By the time you think you've checkmated them, they come from somewhere. But there's a reason for a fight. It might be a mad fight or whatever. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That's what they say.
Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And we have to give our directors and schedulers what belongs to them, talking about time. And that's the end of the show. Game on News Central. Thank you, Godwin, for joining us today on the show.
Thank you, Udoka. And by the time I see you again,
wow. You should have the ring on it.
You should be a married man.
Wow. Wale, thank you very much.
For looks like Leverkusen about to lose the unbeaten run all competitions. They're trailing 1-0, almost 90 minutes.
All right, we'll see how that turns out because they are still leading on aggregate 2-1. And
Liverpool?
Liverpool also winning Atlanta by a goal to nil. But on aggregate, it is still 3-1, Atlanta in the lead. And my name is Udoka Njoku, saying thank you very much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.